So let's just have a look at the code now that we got from the last lesson and just try to understand what's going on right here once more, because again, I think this is where you should pause and just work a bit on understanding this. Observables is a very powerful thing to use. There are RxJS here, it has so many features and powers, and this is not only for Angular, this can also be used for React and other systems. I think you should really spend some time here and understand this. Now, let's just try and run over the code and try to understand it. Now, first of all, what's going to happen right here is we're going to start out by listening for an auth user. So think of it this way. This is setting up so that we will start waiting for a response. This is asynchronously. A lot of times, pretty much all the time when you're working with web development, you work asynchronously. You're waiting for a response from somewhere. You don't know when in time that response is going to come back. So this method right here is an asynchronous method using these observables that kind of says, I don't know when I'm coming back. But when I'm coming back, then what do you want me to do? Now you could do a lot of things. You could subscribe for when it's coming back and do something. You could actually go and only once get a reply back, etc., etc. But you can also use a switch map that says, when I'm coming back, I want to execute another asynchronous call, right? So that's what we're doing with the switch map. I'm saying when I'm coming back, I'm going to return to you an auth user. Now that auth user, I'm going to use him to call another asynchronous call that I don't know when will return. That's why I'm using the switch map and not just a plain map right here, because I need to explain to the system, you have to wait for the second call as well, right? So I'm binding together two observables now and saying these guys are coupled. They need to work together before they send a real reply back to the world. That pretty much means with the switch map now I can do a second observable call right here, which is this line right here, which is just saying, dear Firebase, go and grab the user, and when you're done, let me know. And that's kind of what we're doing right here. Now that's actually going to return an observable, and I'm saying as the final part here, I'm saying when that is done, map that data, do something with the data before you return it. So now I have both these values available for me. I have an auth user and a DB user. I merge them together, and when everything is done, I need to return an observable of the type user, and that's what I'm doing right here. I'm saying when everything here is set, return the DB user, which is of the type user because I explained it right here. But right now I have a problem because I might end up with memory leaks. Because right now I'm not really into actually keep listening for this specific user. I only want to get the user once, and then I want to shut down the connection to the database. But with Firebase, we're working with streams, so I actually keep listening. I keep having a hook into the database as long as the application lives. Now that could be a problem in this case because, again, I only want to get the user one, and then I want to shut down the connection, right? Get user, don't want to listen anymore. So I could just call this function getUser once, just to explain that's what I want to do. But what I'm going to do instead for now is just to show you guys how we can actually say that I only want to do this once and then please shut down the connection. You can use something called the first keyword here. So I can actually just, right after I call this observable right here, I can say .first, and that'll pretty much mean that I only want to do this once and then I want it to automatically close the connection. Okay? But to do this, you need to again use this you need to kind of import something right here from the RxJS, and what you need to import is actually an RxJS. Then you need to use the add operator. You need to say operator, and then you need to write first. Now this is kind of the specific operator that I need to call this first on my setup right here. Right? So that's pretty much all I had to do. Oh, I don't need the curly brackets right here. That was just a mistake. There we go. So now it knows that I want to use this operator, and now it knows that you're only going to get the information once and then you'll shut down the connection. So now I've done it for the auth user, but I also want to do the same thing down here for the actual user in the database. So now both of these are only called once and then they're shut down. It's not streamed anymore. I don't keep listening. And then I could kind of make a get user stream if I wanted to kind of have both of them. So you could say get user stream like this, and then it'll keep listening for both of these guys. But I'm not sure I want to do that now. Let's just get the user once and then kind of close the connection. That's what I want to do for now. Later we can then extend this. So that's all I wanted to kind of just give you guys the first keyword, what that is all about in here, to kind of get only the connection, only get information once and then shut the connection, and then also kind of give you another just explanation right here when the code was all set up, because now I had more time to explain things. So that's all for this lesson. So see you next time. We'll have even more fun. Bye bye.